Why my shit look crooked? Come on now. Behave yourself. Why my couch look like that? You know, it look like it's slanted. What is this? Girl. What's up, guys? It's your girl, HeyParis here. Back at it again with another story time. Not really back at it again. I feel like that sounds foreign to my mouth, but here we is with a story time. Okay, I give you guys 4 options on my Instagram to pick what topic you wanted today's story to be on. I gave you the option of Sephora, Walmart, dating, and school, and you guys chose school. So today I'm going to be telling you a story about a creepy ass teacher I had in elementary school, and shit gets weird. Okay, and to protect the privacy of those involved in this story, obviously I will be picking different names, and I might change a few things around just so that people who went to school with me don't know who I'm talking about, and I'll make sure that the things I change around protect that person's privacy, because I can't get a hold of them and I haven't talked to them in a while, but I'm confident that anyone who went to school with me won't know who this person is, and that's why I'm telling this story. Please trust me when I say that. I would not invade anyone's privacy like this. Everything I'm about to say, it is securing their privacy. I promise you guys, you know me, I would never. Okay, cool. So this happened in elementary school. No, is it elementary school? Not elementary school. Senior elementary school? Bitch, okay, this is how Canada works. You go to school in elementary from kindergarten to grade 6, and then you go to a senior junior public school, I think. I don't know what it's called, from grade 7 to grade 8, and then you go to high school. Okay, so this was between the grade 7 and grade 8 time in my life. I don't know what that's called. Brain fart, no clue. But like the second step to elementary school. Cool. So we all had this creepy ass teacher that if anyone went to my school, they know exactly who I'm talking about. This creepy ass teacher, and I need to describe to you guys what this man looks like so you could put a face to this creepy ass nigga. I should do The Sims Storytime character thing. You guys remember when I used to do that? But I'll think about it. But regardless, he was this 5'5" short white man who had a mushroom cut blonde hair, bright blue eye. Like, he was scary. I don't know what it was about him, but the first time I went to school and I saw this man, I was like, am I dreaming? Am I in a nightmare? Like, he looks scary. Like, I'm not even exaggerating. This was like the scariest looking person I've ever seen in my whole life. He had a little mushroom cut, bright eyes, and it looked like he put blush on his cheeks, but I think that's just how his skin was. Like, he had rosacea right here, and it was only in a circle. It wasn't over his whole face. It was literally in 2 circles. He looked scary AF. For all of my people who live in Toronto and used to watch Treehouse when you were growing up, y'all remember Toy Castle? You remember how Toy Castle used to make you feel like how scared you used to be in the middle of the night when you would wake up after watching Franklin, Hey, It's Franklin, and you'd wake up in the middle of the night like 3 o'clock and Toy Castle is on, and you are like frozen in shock and fear because what the hell is wrong with y'all? Y'all not talking, like your mouths aren't moving, but y'all talk, like it's scary. Bitch, that's how he made me feel. Like, I used to freeze in shock whenever I saw him. It was scary, and I don't know how else to explain it to you guys other than I felt like when I woke up in the middle of the night and Toy Castle was on the TV. Okay, cool. So he was actually one of our gym teachers. Oh gosh, I'm getting goosebumps. Like, I'm thinking of his face and it's literally scary. I've never said this before, literally the scariest looking person in the world. But regardless, he was one of our gym teachers, okay? And if you went to school, any type of school, you know that we had dress codes that weren't fair. I'm just gonna say that right here, right now. Because boys would be wearing cut-off sleeve shirts and shorts, and girls couldn't wear spaghetti straps. Girls couldn't wear any low-cut tops, even if it was like right here, like no cleavage showing. Girls couldn't wear skirts. We couldn't wear shorts. Like, it was such a strict dress code. But I always found it unfair because boys could wear whatever they wanted, and because we as girls, little girls, like we're being sexualized at this young ass age, we can't wear the things that make us comfortable. On a hot ass day, I couldn't wear a spaghetti strap because boys would look at me. What did I gotta do with me? But regardless, that's beyond the point. We had a strict dress code that I feel like every single day I went against, all my friends went against. like everyone went against it. Like all the girls, we went against it every single day. Every day I would be stopped in the halls and be asked to go put on a jacket when it's literally 30 degrees outside Celsius, y'all, because I know Americans are going to be like, it's cold. No, I'm talking Canadian Celsius, not Fahrenheit. 30 degrees outside and I have to go put on a jacket. Like, bitch. So we're going to call this creepy teacher Mr. Wilford. Did I have a real teacher named that? Hold on, I might have had a real teacher named that. So let's scratch that because we're not talking about that teacher. We're going to name him Mr. Ding Dong, okay? So, we as girls used to literally run away from Mr. Ding Dong because he was like the enforcer of this. I don't know who gave him the extra duty job or if he's getting paid more to tell us to put clothes on even though we're wearing clothes that are very appropriate for our age. I don't know what it is, but we would run from him because he would always like literally scope us out while we're minding our business and be like, hey, come here, let me talk to you. Your shirt, your spaghetti straps, can't wear that. Or your shirt is too low. Or your shorts are too short. Or you can't wear that skirt, whatever, right? So off the bat, we all didn't like him. All the girls in the school, we just didn't like him. He always would just find us and get us. Okay, cool. But at the same time, while he's trying to find us and get us, other teachers are also trying to find us. Not really find us, but if they see us, they'll tell us the same things that he's saying to us. So I never took it as creepy or weird or that he was being like a predator in any way in the beginning, okay? So let's fast forward to our school dance. I think I did a whole story time on what happened at this dance like years ago, but this also happened in that same dance that I did a story about. So, okay, there was this one girl in my school. She was absolutely breathtaking. Like everyone used to tell her like you could be a model. Like she was so pretty in the face. Her face structure was just immaculate. That's the only word I could come to my vocabulary right now. It was immaculate. She was just literally up to this day one of the most pretty girls I've ever seen in my entire life. Like breathtaking, drop dead, gorgeous. It was crazy. I was like, bitch, what are you doing here in Scarborough? You should be living up at Rosebank or Bridal Path or something because you gonna make money with that face. Like she was breathtaking, okay? We are gonna name this girl Olivia. This is how I got the name. I looked over and I saw my olive oil mousse. Okay, cool. All right, so Olivia was a very quiet girl. I remember a lot of us trying to like include her in our group of friends, but she was very to herself, and whenever I saw her, she'd be like sitting down on the ground reading a book. Like not only was she pretty, she was very smart, very into her education. She was not like us. She was like nobody in our school. She was just different on a whole nother level, okay? So I remember I had art with Olivia, and again, she didn't really talk very often. She was very quiet, and I didn't really talk to her a lot because I noticed that that's how she was. But I remember one day in art class, she came up to me and she sat beside me and she was like, "Does Mr. Ding Dong creep you out like he does me?" Or something along those lines. And I said, "Not really, why?" She's like, "Oh, nothing. I just saw that he was talking because earlier on that day, he told me about my spaghetti straps again and that I had to put a cardigan on. So I guess she saw me. I didn't see her see me, but she said that, oh, I was just saying that because I saw him talk to you earlier on in the hall." So I was like, nah, not really. He's just annoying. Conversation was done there. But for some reason that stuck with me because this girl never talked to me like that before. Like she never held a conversation with me. So I was just like, what's that about? You know what I mean? All right, so fast forward to the dance that was later on that day. Well, evening, whatever. All the boys liked Olivia, okay? All the boys liked her. They were into her. Like I said, she was gorgeous, so I couldn't blame them. Bitch, I liked you too. What you mean? But during the school dance, I remember seeing multiple guys going up to her and asking her to dance. And she was like saying, no, maybe later, like to all of them. And in my head, I'm like, she ain't gonna dance with none of y'all. Like, she's too smart and too pretty for any of you booger nose, nasty ass little boys. Like, keep it moving. That's how I felt. But I remember this one guy who I literally didn't notice in school at all went up to her and they were dancing. They were dancing like just normal, like little kids dancing front to front, like no twerking or none of that. They were just like very innocently dancing, okay? I remember seeing Mr. Mr. Ding Dong like run across from one side of the gym to the other side of the gym and pull that boy that's dancing with her off of her and into the hallway. And I'm sitting there, I remember talking to my friends like, why did he just do that? Because they're dancing innocently while we look over here and all the ratchets are twerking and bending it over and popping that preschool for these little boys. You get what I'm saying? So why is he getting dragged out and these people are just popping? They just popping it. It didn't make sense to me. It didn't make sense to me. So Mr. Ding Dong comes back from outside of the gym. The boy never came back inside. He comes back from inside of the gym and he's talking to Olivia and they're just talking, and she is in, now that I'm older, I can like recognize what kind of state she was in. She was in like the only way I could describe it is like if you had an abusive boyfriend and he's talking to you in public. That's the type of body language she was giving me. But obviously I couldn't like map that out at my age. But now that I'm older, I'm able to look back at that time and realize what kind of body language she was showing. And it was kind of like an abusive, like scared state. Then I remember Olivia trying to leave and Mr. Ding Dong bringing her by her hand and bringing her back inside. And just keep in mind while I'm telling you this, although I'm looking at Olivia and Mr. Ding Dong, I'm also doing my own thing. So what I'm telling you is kind of like I'm looking over and then doing my own thing and looking over again. So there might be parts and pieces that I missed, but I'm just telling you guys what I remember. So I remember talking to my friend after Mr. Ding Dong brought Olivia back inside. It was kind of like, you know, I don't know what the word is, scrolled, I don't know, listen, my ethnic tongue can't do it. Scrounding, I don't know what the word is, but y'all know what I mean. Like her, okay? Then I remember looking over again and literally bringing over my friend who's with me and being like, why is Mr. Ding Dong so close behind Olivia right now? I remember looking at my friend and being like, that's weird. It's like, you as a teacher, as a grown-ass man, should not be that close behind a student. And not only that, but you guys have to keep in mind, he's short, he's 5'5". At this point in my life, I was probably like the height I am now, 5'7". So, no, probably not. I was probably 5'5" too. But like her booty is on his crotch. Like that's how close they were standing with each other. And I could tell that Olivia was uncomfortable and she tried to scoot over and he would scoot over slowly. So it wouldn't be at the same time. So it wouldn't be like she's here, he's here, and she'd go like this and he'd go like this. It'd be like they're like this and he's right behind her ass, and then she'd move over here, and then maybe 5 minutes later, he'd slowly move himself back over here. And she's not dancing anymore, she's not having fun anymore, and apparently she can't leave and go home. Remember that this dance is after school hours, so we paid to come in here, and we can leave when we want to. You can't keep this girl hostage. Like, what is your problem? So me and the friend that I brought that to their attention, we went up to Olivia, even though he was there, he was right behind her still, and we're like, are you okay? Like, is Mr. Ding Dong bothering you? She didn't say anything. She just looked at us. She didn't speak. She didn't talk to us. I thought she couldn't hear me, so I went in her ear because the music is loud. I went in her ear and I asked her, are you okay? Is Mr. Ding Dong bothering you? Because it just seems really inappropriate for us. So I could only imagine how she was feeling. So I felt like we needed to go up to her and like stand beside her if she needed us, because she didn't have no, well, it's not that she didn't have no friends. She didn't really talk to anyone. And she was standing there by herself with Mr. Ding Dong against the wall, kind of. Mind you, all the rest of the teachers are in the middle of the dance, on the sides of the dance, not with students. They're not hanging out with students or bothering students or harassing students or behind students. You get what I'm saying? Like, they're just doing what they're supposed to do. Anyway, she just kept staring at us, and eventually we just left her alone and we continued our dance. I honestly forgot about the whole thing because I'm like, if she's not gonna answer us, I remember being kind of frustrated and kind of like upset that like I'm trying to help you and you're not talking to us. But like I said, now that I'm older, I kind of get it. I kind of understand why she did that. Okay, cool. That's not the end of the story at all. So maybe 2 or 3 weeks later, maybe even a month later, we had gym class and we had a combined gym class. So a combined gym class is basically when like my class and another class, we come together and we like play one big game, or we do gym all together or whatever. Okay, we had a combined class, and Olivia was in the other class for gym, and obviously all the girls are in one change room and all the guys are in one change room. I remember everyone's face when this happened. I remember feeling disgusted. I remember feeling like I need to call my mom and have her pick me up because this is so inappropriate. Like this is weird. Like this is so weird. I'm about to sneeze, hold on. I remember Olivia being at the front of the line to enter the gym, the gymnasium, and Mr. Ding Dong was obviously supposed to open it because he was a gym teacher. Everyone is lined up to go inside the gym, okay? And Mr. Ding Dong looks at Olivia, who is correctly dressed, no dress code violation or anything. May I just add, for a girl of her age, she had a large breast, okay? Which that's something you can't help. That is how you are. It's not like she had implants. We are in grade 7 or 8, okay, at this point. If you have at this age, what can we do about that? There's nothing we can do about that. This is her body and this is the way that she was born and how she developed. There's nothing you could do about that, okay, cool. So Mr. Ding Dong takes her out of the line when we're all lined up, takes her out of the line and says, Olivia, come here, stand beside me. And he says out loud so everyone could hear, if any of you girls come to school again with your big, these are the exact words he said, with your big poking out of your shirt like Olivia here, you're gonna be sent home. When he said that, I remember being like, did he just say big? And he's talking about this little girl, this child who is our age. I remember being like, I feel disgusted. I feel nasty. I feel like someone just touched me inappropriately. Like those words coming out of that teacher's mouth, who's this grown ass adult male, made me feel so uncomfortable. I remember getting goosebumps. I remember feeling sick. I remember being like, what the hell? I also remember looking at the back of the line and the front of the line to look at everyone's face. Usually in a situation like that, you would think that little boys would laugh. The boys were shocked too. All the boys and the girls were just like what? What did he just say? And let me explain to you guys what she was wearing. So during some gym, not even some, all gym classes, what am I talking about? During all gym classes, we had these school shirts that everyone had to wear. I'm guessing it was for like the dress code so girls wouldn't, whatever. But we all had shoulder length regular ass shirts with our school name on it, okay? That we wore every single gym class, and if you didn't have that shirt on, you could not participate in gym, okay? So explain to me why Olivia's getting called out when everybody in this line is wearing the exact same t-shirts. But because she has a larger chest, you want to point her out and tell her what in front of who, for what reason, and why. Then he continues on to say, if you think running up and down in gym class with your jumping up and down is going to get you a boyfriend, you're wrong. That's what he said to her in front of all of us. And I'm just like, what in the world is going on? Like, I am not at school right now. There's no way I'm at school right. How am I at school? How am I possibly at school? And a teacher just said this to a student. Like, you're going to jail. You're going to jail, sir. Electric chair. This is so inappropriate. And that's not the end of it. So let me continue because this is getting long. After he said that, you could tell Olivia was sad. I'm pretty sure she was crying. And me and the same friend who approached her at the dance, we went up to her again. And I said to her, I'm like, hey, I know that you don't talk to anyone and you're not very vocal and you don't really talk to anybody, but like, we're here for you. If you want us to chill with you, if you want to sit with us at lunch, if you want to play with us during break time, we will be there for you. Like, you don't have to have the same interests as us, but if you just need someone to be around you, like, stick with us, like, stay with us. I remember her telling us that she appreciates that, and then she stayed with us during gym class. Throughout the whole gym class, she was right behind us. We were in the same team, and I felt disgusted for her and embarrassed for her, like, that the teacher would even call her out like that or even say anything when we're all literally wearing the same thing. It was... Anyways, fast forward to the end of gym class, okay? Obviously, girls have their change rooms, boys have their change rooms, all the girls in their change rooms, all the boys in theirs, okay? Normally, we're in the change room, you just take your pants off, take your shirt off, your gym shirt off, and put on your regular clothes back on, and put your gym clothes back in your bag. Most everyone did that out in the open, but Olivia, I guess she wanted to like do it in the bathroom so that no one could see her. For whatever reason, none of our business, who cares, okay? So we're about to leave, and then we shouted out to Olivia. We're like, hey, do you want us to wait for you? And she said, yes, please. So we sat on the bench and we waited for her. I'm gonna be honest, she took longer than we anticipated. I don't know why. Again, none of our business. Like, if she's in the washroom, do what you gotta do. But maybe 5 minutes later, I hear a knocking on the door, okay? Me and my friend, we look at each other and we're like, I'm not gonna say nothing. Like, for what? Like, all the students are out there, and if we're in here, we'll be out soon. Like, what are you knocking for? So we didn't say anything. Maybe 10 seconds later, in walks Mr. Ding Dong inside of the girls' change room, and we are just like, what are you doing? I kid you not. I kid you not, I remember going in my bag and grabbing my cell phone and being ready to dial 911. Because let me tell you guys something. When I was in elementary school, my brother had a teacher who got arrested for a couple of girls in my brother's class. So I already knew what the possibilities were. I already felt uncomfortable with male teachers because of that, because my brother's teacher was a teacher that I confided in. Like, he didn't do nothing to me, but he was someone that I confided in, and little things like him saying, oh, Paris, do you want a popsicle? And I'd be like, yeah, sure. And he'd be like, I need a hug first, and I'd give him a hug, and then I'd get the popsicle. Like, thinking back to that, I'm like, ew, like, that's disgusting. Like, he got charged for this crime. You get what I'm saying? So I've always felt a little bit uncomfortable with male teachers, but I still gave them the benefit of the doubt because there are still amazing male teachers out there. But in that instance where I saw a male teacher in the girls' change room, I was like, I'm ready to call the cops. Not even my mother. I'm ready to call the police, okay? If you needed someone to come in the change room to check up on us, you could have got a female teacher. They are all over the damn school. You could have got a female teacher. They could have came in and figured out what was going on since we didn't answer, okay? He walks in, and before you walk in, there's like a small wall, and then you turn around the wall, okay? So as the door opens, we didn't know who it was until I heard Mr. Ding Dong say, Olivia, like in the creepiest voice. And I was like, nah, literally phone in hand, 911. I didn't press talk yet, but I was getting ready to, no joke. I don't know what I thought was gonna happen, but this is just what I remember, dialing 911 and putting my thumb on talk. Okay, cool. I don't know what I could have done or what the police could have done with him in the change room with us, but that's how my little adolescent mind was thinking. Anyways, when he turns and sees us, he's like, what are you girls doing here? In a mad voice. When your voice was just sweet and creepy 2 seconds ago. What are you girls doing here? It's time to get out. And I said, we're waiting for Olivia. He's like, Olivia's a big girl. She could come out by herself. You guys need to go out. I'm giving you 5 seconds. And he's counting down 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. We're sitting there. I'm like, sir, you can't be in here. You're a guy. You're a man. You don't have the same genitalia as us. Like, you should not be in here. And my friend's like, yeah, that's inappropriate. You shouldn't be in here. He goes on to say, I'm a teacher. I'm allowed to do whatever I want. And you girls need to go. Leave Olivia in here. Blah, 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 blah. I'm like, I'm not leaving Olivia in here. At this point, my friend who's beside me, there's 2 doors. One to enter from the gym and one to exit out into the school. My friend is at the exit to go out to the school. She's holding the door open and looking down the hall. By this time, I'm pretty sure no one was there because we were in the change room for a while. So he's like, Paris, get up and leave now. Like, he's trying to give me a stern voice. But in my head, I'm not leaving this girl in here by herself. So I said it again. I'm like, I'm not leaving Olivia here. And by the time I didn't even finish that sentence, Olivia came out of the washroom in her regular clothes. And again, she was dressed perfectly fine. She was wearing one of those thick, like, imagine the strap of a wife beater, one of those thick ones, and like curved right here. You couldn't see any of her cleavage at all. And Mr. Ding Dong, oh my God, I'll never forget. Okay, Mr. Ding Dong took his 2 fingers and slipped it down her shirt like this and pulled her bra, like the thing in the middle of your bra, up. And he's like, how many times am I gonna tell you, you can't wear these things in school? I was like, did you just touch her? And I said it loud, I don't even care. It echoed through the change room. I'm like, did you just touch her? And he's like, what? What are you saying? You know what? Go to the principal's office, to me. I'm like, I'm not going. You could bring me to the principal's office. Again, I'm not leaving Olivia here. At this point, my friend who's at the exit was like, he touched her, and I'm explaining to her what he did. Olivia, again, is just silent and quiet, and I guess that's just how she is. I can't explain to you why she was quiet and not saying anything, but I felt like I needed to speak for her, because if he did that to me, like, it would have been like I would have punched him. I would have spit on him, something. I couldn't allow this grown-ass male adult to go in between my breasts and pull up my bra. Like, it's not happening. And for some reason, I knew she wasn't gonna say anything because she never says anything. Then Olivia walked out by herself, like she was about to walk out. Jesus. Yo, this friggin' feather that came off of my shirt. I thought it was a bee or a bug or something. But bitch, it's winter. Like, that shit scared the hell out of me. Oh my gosh. I don't remember what I was saying. Okay, Olivia was walking out, and then Mr. Ding Dong grabbed her by the back of her shirt collar, and he's like, you guys get out now. So when he was saying that, I remember this teacher that we loved, like the best teacher ever, this lady teacher. I remember her coming from the exit and saying, what's going on, what's happening? And then she called Mr. Ding Dong by his first name. So let's say his first name was Mark. I'm looking at a Mark Jacobs bottle, okay? So she walked in and she's like, Mark, what are you doing in the girls' change room? He goes on some rant about how he thought we were in danger and there was people screaming and we were screaming for help. And I'm like, no, none of that happened. We were not screaming for help. You knocked on the door, no one answered, and you walked in asking for Olivia, calling Olivia's name. Nobody was screaming. Even when there was bare people inside of the change room, no one was screaming, no one was asking for help. You're lying. My friend who I was with was like, he's completely lying. Like, nobody said anything, and no one was ever in danger. So the lady teacher is like, okay, you girls come out, I need to talk to him, you guys get out. So we left the change room, and although he told me to go to the office, I didn't go to the office because I know he was only saying that to scare me. And bitch, I'm gonna go to the office and do what? Get you fired? Like, get your shit together. So then, after gym, it was lunchtime. Olivia sat with us at lunch, and we're just asking her, like, has he done anything like this to you before? And da-da-da. She's like, he just picks on me. He always picks on me whenever he sees me in the halls, no matter what I'm wearing. I'm always wearing something inappropriate. And she's just talking about how she hates how big her chest is and she gets unwanted attention. And that's not the type of girl she is. And da-da-da-da. And I'm like, it's something that you can't help. Like, if he's harassing you and making you feel uncomfortable, like, you need to tell someone. So we're just talking to her throughout lunch. We literally didn't do anything at lunch that day. We were just talking to her. Even when we went outside after we ate, we were just talking to her. And basically what she said she wanted to do was, at the end of the year, she will tell the principal or someone about all the things that he's done to her. But she said she doesn't want to tell them to their face, so we came up with a plan to give the principal a letter. But she said she wanted to do this at the end of the year because she didn't want for instance, the principal's like, oh, I don't believe you, and then Mr. Ding Dong is still working at the school and she has to see him after she gave them that note. You get what I'm saying? So she said at the end of the year she wants to do it. The end of the year was next month, so we were in the month of what? I don't know, bitch. I don't know. But I remember the end of the year was a few weeks later, but we're gonna say a month because it felt like a long time. I remember waiting because I wanted to see what the outcome was gonna be, and I wanted to see what the principal would say. So throughout those weeks, she stayed with us at lunch. She chilled with us. And she used to come to me and say, like, I caught Mr. Ding Dong looking at my butt. He's making comments on my butt now. And just like weird shit. And I'm like, just write it down. Everything that he's done from the beginning of the year until right now, write everything down in your own words. So she had a four-page letter to give to the principal at the end of the year. I remember the last day of school, Olivia was not at school. She did not come to school. But she didn't live far from the school. I knew exactly where she lived because we went to her house one time because she wanted, I don't remember, she wanted to show us something or something, I don't remember. But we became friends, not really good friends because like I said, she's very quiet, but we became closer than we were before. So I've been to her house before and she literally lived like walking distance from the school. So during lunchtime, me and that same friend who was with me the whole time throughout all these situations, we walked to her house during lunchtime without a permission slip, without a parental whatever. We just went off school campus and we weren't supposed to, but at the same time, I was like, this is the end of the year. I'm never gonna be back at the school after this day. Like, y'all gonna suspend me? Bitch, I'm going to high school after this. Like, do what you want. So we walked to her house and we were knocking. She came downstairs. I'm like, why aren't you at school? Like, you have to give the letter. And she's like, I decided I'm not going to. I'm like, you have to give the letter. Like, do you want someone else who comes into the school? Do you want them to feel the way that you've been feeling all these years? Like, let's go. Like, I'm basically forcing her at this point. Eventually, she listened to me and my friend, and we went back to school. And I said, you don't have to spend the whole day at school. If you want to give the notes, because we weren't learning anything or anything that day. We were just like a celebration, like a leaving celebration type of thing. It wasn't like no classes or anything like that. So I said, if you want to give the note and leave and go home, like, you can do that. Like, I'll talk for you if you want, if you don't want to face the principal face to face. So she put the notes, because it went from 4 to like 6 notes in 2 envelopes and gave it to the principal. One marked, read this first and read this second, with her name on the front of the envelope. Okay, cool. Me, her, and my friend went to the principal. She handed it to the principal and the principal was like, what is this? And again, she didn't say anything. She walked out. She went home. Me and my friend were like, we were calling her like, Olivia, Olivia, Olivia. She's not responding, obviously, and she just left. So me and my friend stayed in the principal's office while he was reading these things. And we're thinking that he's gonna be like, what do you guys know? How do you know this? Is it true? Da, 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 da. After he read everything, he told us to leave. So we left. We left. Sad thing is, never saw Olivia again, ever again in my whole entire life. Never, ever, ever saw her again. And I should have probably went to her house maybe a few weeks later and asked her how she is or if there's any update or something like that, but I didn't, and I really regret that. And then here's where the BS comes, okay? When I was in high school, this is probably grade 9 or grade 10, me and my friend who didn't go to that school, a friend that I made in high school, you know, I didn't really have friends like that, but a girl I was friends with in high school, we went to Best Buy after school to get a laptop for her, okay? I was just accompanying, right, her while she went to get a laptop. While I was there, I seen Mr. Ding Dong. Mr. Ding Dong came up to me. First of all, when I say I seen him, it doesn't mean like I walked in and I saw him. Like, I'm literally doing my own thing and I feel someone tap me and I look over and it's Mr. Ding Dong. I'm like, oh, hi. Like, I don't know what the hell you want me to say. Like, I never liked you. I don't think you ever liked me. You're a creep. You're a predator. Like, can I help you? I'm like, hi. Do you believe that this man asked me if I have Olivia's contact information? He asked me if I have her phone number, if I have an email for her. Does she have a Facebook? And I'm like, sir, were you not, this is literally what I said. I'm like, sir, were you not in trouble for what you did to her? And as soon as I said that, he kissed, it was a horrible kiss teeth. He couldn't do, some people don't know how to do that, but he tried to do it and it sounded like that's what his kiss teeth sounded like. And he walked away. That was the last time I saw him. And that was a confirmation to me that either nothing was done at a school, I don't know, like I never got an update on it. Either nothing was done at the school or something was done and he is literally obsessed with Olivia. Cause how dare you come up to me and ask me for literally your victim's information. There were times where we asked her to tell us stuff and she didn't want to tell us. And the fact that it went from 4 pages to 6 pages says a lot. It says that you've done multiple things from the time in the gym until then. And like I said, her body language alone gives me victim vibes. Like, it gives me a vibe that something's been going on, but I can't come on this camera and tell you guys that something was going on because I don't know the full story. I'm just telling you what I know. But her body language just showed me that, like, she was very uncomfortable around him and that he somewhat scared her. So yeah, that's that. So if y'all have an adult in your life, it could be your uncle, it could be your dad, it could be your teacher, it could be your guidance counselor, it could be your cousin, it could be your, did I say uncle? It could be your brother, whoever that makes you feel uncomfortable in that way, you need to tell somebody. Tell an adult you trust, Tell a police officer, I don't give a damn. Put their ass in jail. Don't just let it sit and linger. Don't allow them to win. And that's the message I want you guys to take from today, because I feel like if me and my friend were not there to befriend Olivia and get her to write that note, nobody would ever know. And I know there are plenty of girls and women out there who have faced this and they are too afraid or too ashamed to go and tell someone they trust or tell the authorities about their situation. I'm here to tell you, you need to do it. You need to do it not only for you, but to protect future victims of that predator. You need to do it. You have to do it. Men are creeps out there. They're weirdos. They're predators. They are going to jail. They're going to jail, okay? So please don't be afraid or ashamed to tell your story to someone you trust. That is what I want you guys to take from today's story time, okay? Anyways, guys, remember that you could always reach out to me via DMs on Instagram if you ever want to talk about anything related to anything. I am always reading my DMs. I try to read as many as I can before I go to bed at night. So please, if you ever want to talk to me, if you ever need advice or you just need an ear to listen, DM me on Instagram. I will try my best to reach out to as many of you who DM me as possible, okay? Thank you guys for watching today's video. Make sure you follow me on Snapchat, Twitter, and Instagram. All that jazz is in the description box down below. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. I love you guys so much. Don't gotta tell you twice. I'll see you on the flip side. Bye, guys.